Hello and welcome to another Minisode of Not Without My Sister. It's me, Beatrice McCabe, not without...
Rosemary McCabe.
Looking delighted and super proud.
Absolutely delighted with life. In today's minisode, we will be responding to a fan question. A listener question.
Thank you.
Fine, listener question.
Thank you.
From @Fee Hodges AU. I think that means she's in Australia. Anyway, listen, the point is from Fiona Hodges. And she wants to know about our thoughts or memories on the best regional nightclub in Ireland.
Oh my God, what a question. There is many answers in here.
No,
so many answers.
There's only one good regional nightclub in Ireland. It's the Sound House in Johnstown.
What?
The Sound House in Johnstown.
That's the one, we already mentioned this, where you were using you were masquerading
using your entire
as
identity.
me. Yes, you were using me.
I was doing identity
exist.
fraud before it was big.
No, what about that one that opened in Naas that was a big deal?
Time.
Oh, yeah. Rosemary.
Beatrice,
I only went once.
Beatrice, Time is not a regional nightclub. Time is an extravaganza.
Oh, well, I only went once. There were people dancing on cylindrical poles. And let me tell you now.
Sorry. What other kind of pole is there, just out of interest?
Rectangular poles. They're really hard to jump up and down on. And let me tell you, the time was incredibly underwhelming. It was full of velour. It was full of corduroy, it felt like, and it was incredibly unclean, I thought. I did not get the impression. I did not feel while I was there that it was incredibly clean.
Oh my God, you sound like so much fun. Beatrice,
thank you.
What do you look for in a nightclub? Well, cleanliness,
no, but
nice fabrics.
Rosemary, it had been opened about 6 months and it just felt really like...
Oh, it was so grubby.
Cigarette. Yeah, grubby.
Yeah, it was really grubby. Like,
it felt really grubby and it smelled really badly of cigarettes. And but like, I had heard that this was like the best, like, finally, you know, Naas had a mega nightclub.
It was the biggest thing to happen Kildare in years.
I don't know. Literally, you're agreeing with me, but you're sounding argumentative.
I'm agreeing with you, but I'm also like, I'm being defensive. I'm doing a mom on it, where I'm like,
no, Mom would never be in this nightclub.
Oh.
Mom would be on the stripper pole.
We just got up and we left. Beatrice.
Mom would be like, this rectangular pole was really hard on my hands.
Beatrice, it wouldn't be the hands you'd be worrying about, it'd be the inner thighs. If you were trying to strip a pole in a rectangular pole.
Mother has extremely muscular legs. I'm not even joking.
She'll actually murder us both.
She does. This is the same
Stop
mother.
talking about Mom.
Excuse me. This is the same mother whose husband, my father, said to me, apropos of nothing, just looking
not
at
about
me.
the ankles again.
Oh, no. This was one day just looking at me in the kitchen here in America. And I'd like to say, you know, I've gone up and I've gone down in weight, etc., but I've never gone up in my father's estimation. And he looks at me and he goes, oh, so unfortunate because you just didn't get your mother's nice thin legs.
Well, that's the story I was referring to.
No,
about the ankles.
that was a separate one where he said you inherited my ankles.
Oh, twice. He said,
there are multiple comments. I've got another one as well stored up. I've got a whole other one that like I'm keeping for when it's appropriate. So you just didn't get your mother's nice thin.
She does have very nice thin
hips.
legs.
You have the thin hips. I don't. Yeah.
Back to the nightclubs. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's a single nightclub. I don't think there's a single regional nightclub in Ireland that you would like to see with the lights on.
That's not
on the
point.
topic of.
I didn't like to see this place with the lights off. Like with the lights off, it was bad.
Time was great for a time.
Well, I was only there one time,
I think you were too old for it. No offense.
Oh
no, but I think like when it opened, I was kind of 16 or 17, and we were so excited. Whereas you were then 22 or 23. So like you would have been jaded.
Impressed.
You would have gone to nightclub after nightclub.
No, I am easily impressed.
You're easily impressed. A minute ago, you were giving out about the velour.
I go velour, Rosemary. I go places and look to be impressed. And I'm just telling you, this was like I went there with a full open mind. I was like, this is going to be amazing, and it was not. It was
never
not
gone anywhere with an open
all.
mind in your life.
You're being actually very nasty right now on this minisode. It's like really hurtful.
I'm a nasty woman.
Anyway, so that was underwhelming, but I only went once and I don't really know the full story. Soundhouse, I went and you were trying to be me, so it was hard. I was a shadow of my former self.
Hang on, you've been to the Soundhouse more than once?
I don't think so, have I?
Really?
No, I really don't think so.
I've been to the Soundhouse
I've
10
been to the
million times.
Ambassador multiple times.
I think I only went to the Ambassador once because it closed down then.
Generations, Rose. Bitch, closed down.
Yeah, well, it was past its day. It's seen its time.
I went to the Ambassador one time. I went as an invitee to a Debs and it was absolutely terrible. I went another time.
Oh my God, our Debs was in the Red Cow Hotel. That was also terrible. Although, at our Debs now, and I know this isn't really on the topic of regional nightclubs, so I digress slightly. At my Debs, I had recently broken up with my boyfriend and I was going through a phase of really wanting to get back with him because he was fancying someone else and he was there with someone else. I went with my friend Emma and there was a big hullabaloo because they were like, you can't go with a girl. And so we had to really push it and be like, no, we're actually just going together. Anyway, so I ended up going.
I remember that vaguely. There was a big deal, wasn't there?
I was dead jealous of your mom being there with someone else. So I decided the best thing to do would be to drink my way through it.
Good plan.
I drank 12 baby Guinness shots before dinner. 12 was horrendously ill.
I would like to say I would just like to put out there as like context and say like I have the ability to drink significantly more than you do. So the fact that I'm shocked by you drinking like means that this must be severe.
This was probably this may have been back in the like 3-month window of my life when I was.
No, I genuinely think like right now you drinking 3 baby Guinnesses would tip you over the edge into like full on coma.
I know. Listen, I could never drink a baby Guinness after that anyway.
Baby Guinness. Do you know? I had a similar. I'm trying to think now. Where was it? Somewhere in town. I went to some and I had like a Pernod. Isn't that what it is? The Pernod and what's the one that tastes like licorice?
Oh, Zambuca?
I don't know. And it was licorice tasting. I had a couple of them and I've never in my life been able to taste them again. I was so drunk. I remember asking a guy that I grew up with, I remember saying to him like, you know, why have we never gotten together? Like you and me. And this is a guy that I still know.
What did he say?
I think he just like looked pitifully at me and was more like, you're just very drunk.
He was probably like, you smell like licorice all sorts.
I just remember like the earnestness of like, why? There must be some reason why we've never gotten together. But like, I also think until that night, it had never even occurred to me that we should be together. Do you know what I mean?
Well, so you know what?
So stupid.
This night of the 12 baby Guinnesses, there was to be a karaoke after the dinner. And I love
a good karaoke.
I love a good karaoke, except for that time that I sang, what was it, Britney Spears, that really tuneless Britney Spears song that I love where she's wearing the incredibly low jeans. Oh my God, I can't remember. I just keep thinking of my prerogative.
I'm like, does that narrow it down? Toxic?
No, Toxic, she's dressed up as an air hostess. You've literally chosen the only one where she's not wearing the incredibly low slung jeans. No, oh my God.
Oh my God. I literally think you have like a memory. You could go on to, what's it called? University Challenge.
But
Britney
only visual.
And Buffy. No, Britney and Buffy. You would win.
Well, yeah, but I can't remember the name of this Britney Spears song.
You
the two of us sang it together with wigs on in New York.
What?
Yeah, it was terrible. Anyway, there was to
be. I don't think that's a true story.
That is a true story.
I know it is. Is that the time we went out with Julie?
Yes.
Again.
Yes. You're Julie. Anyway, there was to be a karaoke and I had decided that I was going to sing a song. I can't remember, thank God, what song I was going to sing, but this was going to be when I was going to win my boyfriend back. Anyway, thank God, I drank the 12 baby Guinnesses, puked my head off in the bathroom and then fell asleep until the breakfast. At which point I woke up, had a full Irish and went
breakfast?
Home.
There was a breakfast at
the Debs.
Can't even
get over this. All night. Like, what the hell?
There was a breakfast well, I went to a Debs. No, not a Debs. I went to a nightclub. I'm trying to think. It was my junior cert. And after my junior cert, we all hired a bus, like collectively hired a bus to go to the Ambassador, the self-same Ambassador. Wasn't that in
Naas?
In Kill, right?
Oh, yeah.
And on the bus, on the way there ensued, I had excellent fake ID, which I can share with you after this and with everybody after this.
I think I have it now.
Excellent fake ID.
Is this the Rathmines Tennis Club one?
Yes, thank you.
I have it, yeah.
Mom and Dad bought one of those, like, what's it called?
A laminator?
Yeah, they bought a laminator. And I was like, saw my opportunity.
Not for these purposes.
No. And I saw, in fairness, like, I don't know why it didn't even occur to me to actually copy an existing, like a real company or a real
We
college.
were all Egypts.
Absolute gobber. I was like, I'm going to make up the Rathmines basketball club. I mean, the thing is, like, you'd like to think I was 11. No, I was like 19. No, I wasn't. What age was I?
You were about 16, I think.
16, yeah. So I was like the Rathmines basketball, and there was some other like volleyball. But also, don't forget, like, I did think I was a member of one of these clubs somewhere. So it felt like a lie I could keep, right? Even though now we know my entire past is just becoming this fuzzy sort of nonsense. It's a bit like that TV show Counterpart, where he thinks he's living in this reality, but actually he's living in that. Oh, and I'd like to recommend Counterpart to anybody who hasn't watched it, with your man Russell K. Simmons. Is that his name? No, I think actually that's the sexual abuser, alleged sexual abuser. Sorry. No, sorry, shouldn't laugh. Sorry. Oh my God. Redo.
Christ.
No, redo with the actor from Whiplash, right? From the Oscar-winning movie Whiplash, but whose name I can never remember. Amazing actor. You're looking it up there?
I'm looking up
Counterpart, anyway. Amazing. 2 seasons. Unbelievable. Like the kind of TV show that I was like, how has this never really gotten written up or gotten amazing anything? It is phenomenal. Anyway, in that, he's like living his life. J.K. Simmons. Thank you, Rosemary. He is living his life, and then he discovers that there's an entire parallel universe in which the other him is also living his life. And it's very complex. It's very like cerebral and probably not, but on occasion I was extremely confused. You know, I needed like Rosemary sitting beside me. I needed you sitting beside me to actually explain it to me, because I get confused.
You're giving me too much credit, I think.
No, I'm not. I'm giving myself like the reality.
You should have seen me watching Westworld. I was like a fish, my mouth open the whole time.
No, Rosemary, you saw me watching, what was that movie? What was that TV show we watched together?
Emily in Paris?
No, the other one.
Smothered?
No, Heather Hay Hawkins.
Oh, Sweet Magnolias.
Yeah, I'm like, who's she? Who's that? Who's that guy? Anyway, that's me. Anyway, what was the point of all of this? To say what? Oh yeah, so I was going to the Ambassador Kill. Oh yeah, and on the bus on the way there, anyway, everybody started going like, you know, do you have the right ID? Like, show us your ID. They started passing their fake IDs around, because obviously we were all like 15 or 16, right? And I was passing my tennis club, badminton ID. I'm very proud of it, like with my laminating machine, etc. And everyone's like, oh, no, this isn't going to get you in. So it was decided by the group that like this girl who was extremely exotic looking and very, you know, stunning and blah, 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 that her older sister looked more like me, allegedly, than
So you got given her ID?
So they were like, you need to take her ID. She had 2 IDs. And they were like, you need to take her ID. And you need to take her sister's ID. She's fine with the ID she has. She had a couple of IDs. You need to take this one. So literally it was a bit like Beatrice does Amal Clooney for the Ambassador. Yeah, Rosemary, thank you. Yes, that closed face, those closed eyes say everything. So we get up anyway, we start handing out our IDs. And I honestly think, like in hindsight, I honestly think now, with all the knowledge, the wisdom of these intervening years, that had I just handed over the basketball thing, they wouldn't have blinked an eye. They would have just gone grand. It's like, at the end of the day, they just want to be like, fine, we're protected, right? Oh, sorry, Garda, we did see that. You know, we did.
Sorry, guard.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, they then saw like Amal Clooney and then, you know, blubber-faced Beatrice, right? And one of them goes, is this you? And I go, yeah. And he goes, this is you. And I go, yeah. And he passes it over to the mate. And the mate goes, who's this supposed to be? At which point, like, I start to feel like utter shame, just like, you know, building in my stomach. And he passes, could Jono come out here? Right. So Jono comes out and they're like, whatever his name was, Sean or Jono. And they pass to Jono, do you think this is your woman here? And Jono goes, not a hope in hell. And then they all roll around laughing. Right. And then they're like, get out, see you later. Right. Like, that's not your ID. So I feck off. So I whip them like, well, I still have this basketball ID in the back of my pocket, right? So I get to the back of the line and I'm like, they'll have forgotten about me by the time I get to the top of the line again.
Had they?
No, well, Rosemary, it was at least a 45-minute wait. It was a long wait because it was junior cert night, right?
Yeah,
so like a lot of excitement.
Like, had they forgotten?
Well, Rosemary, we'll get to that.
Oh. Did you at least change your coat? That was always the trick. Put on someone else's coat.
Well, thanks, Rosemary. Look, unfortunately, you weren't there. You were at home. You were 9. You weren't there to help me. So I keep my coat on. I do nothing different and I get to the top of the line.
Did you even change your hair?
No, I hand over my basketball card and they go, Wasn't this the one who was Amal Clooney 10 minutes ago? And I have to slink back to the bus. Oh no, I had to go like, I'm sorry, I need to tell my friend who's inside, I'm staying in her house. I need to tell her that I can't get in. They're like, in you go then, but you need to be back out in a second. So I go in and I'm like, oh, maybe I can stay. And then they come looking for me. They kick me back out, right? I have to get, I thank you. Your face is looking really both
I just can't believe how rebellious
delighted.
you were that you were thinking you were going to get away with staying in.
I thought they'd forget. Like, I mean, honestly, do you know what I mean? How many people do they have to worry about? Anyway, so I get back out. I have to get back on the bus and I have to go home to my friend's house. I have to get off the bus in the middle of Rathcoole, walk up to her house, knock on the door and go, Mrs. Robinson, I
Sorry, why didn't you just go home to our house?
Because nobody was there to pick me up. I didn't have a mobile phone.
Yeah, but like if the bus driver was bringing you back to Rathcoole, why couldn't you just get him
the bus driver was like a shuttle bus. He wasn't like doing stops on request.
So he was going there and back and there and back.
Yes, there and back and there and back. So he brings me back. So I go back to her house. I lie down in the sleeping bag that had been set up for me in her room and I cry myself to sleep. And in hindsight, I do wonder why I didn't call mom and dad to come and get me. But I think I was just so humiliated by the whole thing.
Pathetic.
Anyway. Thanks. Anyway, so less about the nightclub, more about my own personal humiliation.
Listen,
I'd like to tell you...
That's what people want.
I'd like to tell you that, what I think about the ambassador, but as you can tell, I didn't get in.
Yeah, but you went other times. You just can't remember.
I went one other time.
Oh, really?
Where I was the girlfriend of this debutante person, and I think it was more like... I feel like, is there an onus on you when you go as the partner of somebody? If you're invited to somebody's debs, do you need to be willing to snog them? That's the question.
Please get in touch with us on Instagram at notwithoutmysister. You can email notwithoutmysis@gmail.com or leave a comment on our website, notwithoutmysis.com. Let Beatrice know if you are invited to someone's debs, or I would presume any other black tie function, are you obliged to snog them? Did you snog him?
No.
Did he try?
Yes.
You don't seem sure.
No. Yes, I'm thinking.
Did he seem annoyed that then you wouldn't?
No, I mean, I think more disappointed than anything. But I'm more thinking if I invited somebody to my debs, if and when I invited somebody to my debs, I obviously was severely hoping that they would be willing to kiss me.
So when you invited someone to your debs...
Oh, now you're looking delighted and I'm not happy with this. What is this question?
When you invited someone to your debs who shall remain unnamed, were you hoping that you two would snog?
Yeah, of course.
And did you?
Rosemary. Yes. But I really feel like it was more of a pity snog on his part than anything else. I mean, quite genuinely. I even at the time, I was like, this is the one and only time this is going to happen. This is amazing.
I thought you were going to say this is the one and only time this is going to happen. Like, this shouldn't be happening. No, this is amazing.
No, this is amazing. I was more like, but afterwards, I was like, the cruel, cold, harsh light of dawn. I was like, was it amazing or was it more like just really, he felt sorry for me? I mean, yes, he definitely felt sorry for me.
Well, let me tell you, my friend Emma and I did not snog.
Each other?
Yeah, probably for many reasons.
That was the same thing. I don't think you invited each other hoping to snog each other.
I was just going to make a joke about the 12 baby Guinnesses.
Oh, sorry.
So that was possibly why.
But I mean, do you not think? No, it wasn't.
I know it wasn't.
No, you don't find Emma attractive.
It's not even the same Emma you're thinking of, you absolute head wrecker.
Sorry, I should say.
Disclaimer, this was not Emma Reynolds.
Emma doesn't find you attractive. Anyway, that was not the point. But do you not think that there's a certain aspect of if you go to a debs, not that there's an expectation. Oh, Rosemary, stop pouring the wine. Not that there's an expectation, but there is an expectation of at least you find this person remotely attractive enough to want to go to their debs them. Otherwise, are you obliged to not obliged, but should you actually be I don't really want to go to this debs with you. Thanks.
Yeah, does going to someone's debs mean yes, I fancy you too?
But also is it debs? Debs is such a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's such a teenage
seminal moment.
Yes, thank
Beatrice,
you.
You're wasting an entire episode. We could be talking about our debs.
Oh God.
But
that was it. I've just literally given away all of my debs. And you posted the photo already where I wore the orange dress, so we're done.
But I haven't posted my photos yet. On the topic of debs though, you know what I used to love? Image Magazine used to do a debs special and it was literally only private schools in SoCo do. South County Dublin.
It was. I can't even.
And it used to be
is that not a maths game?
It would be these. Now you're showing your age. it would be these beautiful girls with like their hair done in like Tony and Guy, wearing Dolce and Gabbana
Tony and
dresses.
Guy, I'm showing my age.
Oh my God. Beatrice, shut up for 2 seconds. Would be these stunning girls with their hair and makeup done next to these like pimply faced little boys.
Rosemary, that's very mean. Rosemary, you should tell the story now about Mom and the Soduco.
No, Beatrice, we have to wrap up. This has been going on for way too long
do
for
it
a
really
Minisode.
quickly. The text that she sent was about Dad and the Soduco.
Mom and Dad do the
Remember?
Sudoku.
Yeah, she was delighted.
Oh my
with
God,
herself.
do you want me to tell the story or not?
Hurry up.
Now I know where Chance gets his wide open, like laughing mouth. So Mom and Dad like to do the Sudoku together because they're in their 70s. So they live in the country.
They're on lockdown, in fairness.
Listen, this is going on well before
you're
lockdown.
right, you're right.
And they find, like, every time you talk to them, basically, since the year 2000, the difficult Sudoku is getting very challenging. It's really a challenge. We couldn't get it out yesterday, right? Like, honestly, non-stop worrying about the difficulty of the hard Sudoku. So anyway, one day, and then sometimes they like to cut it out, a neat little square, so that Mum can read the paper while Dad's doing the Sudoku, basically. So she'll cut it out for him.
So cute.
So one day she cuts out the hard Sudoku for him. She goes, here you go, Philip. It's been very challenging lately, hasn't it? I'm not sure if you're going to get this out. So Dad, anyway, sits in his chair, glasses down the end of his nose, starts doing the Sudoku, and can imagine the smug face in him as well. Like, oh, look, this is a 4. And he does it very methodically. Like, whenever I couldn't get one, I'd be like, well, you have to go 3, you have to go, is it a 1, is it a 2, is it a 3, is it a 4? It's like, shut up, Dad. Anyway, so Dad gets it out, brings it over to Mum triumphantly. Here you go, that wasn't even that difficult. And then Mom reveals with a cackle that she'd actually cut out the easy Sudoku and given it to him as a trick.
She was delighted.
I know,
with
she was
herself.
absolutely delighted. They find excellent ways to entertain themselves.
They do. They laugh a lot.
They laugh
seriously.
a lot. Now, if ever an episode had been more on topic than that, I don't know what it was. Answers on a postcard. Thank you so much for listening to our Minisode. This has been Not Without My Sister. I'm Rosemary McCabe.
I'm Beatrice McCabe.
You can find us on Instagram with our full names with an A in our Mac, Rosemary McCabe, Beatrice McCabe. Our website's notwithoutmysister.com. Email us, notwithoutmysist@gmail.com, and check us out on Instagram @notwithoutmysister. And you'll get a full episode every Tuesday.
Did Mom and Dad go to their deb together?
No, Mum went with Cahill.
They made their communion together.
Yeah, but like not in a date way. You're making that sound weird. Claire, will you come and make your Holy Communion with me? Catch you next time. Not Without My Sister is produced by Liam Garrity. Sound and original music by Don Kirkland, and our original illustration is by Lindsay Nielsen.
Not Without My Sister is a member of The Warren, the home of great Irish podcasts. As is my podcast, Meet Your Maker. You'll find more great shows at thewarren.ie.